G'day, I'm Pete Seligman. There are a growing number of people thinking about buying a business in this region, but it can be hard to see what that actually looks like. So to help bring one part of that process to life, I've teamed up with my mates Jason Andrew and James Frank to throw some businesses on the table and share our raw thoughts on each. This is ETA Downunder. We hope you enjoy it.
Let's do one that I don't like, which is the high-end beauty.
Yeah, okay. I hate that one as well.
Let's try a high-end beauty. Okay, all right.
I've still got scars of this type of shit, so
all right. So, and I think it's excellent that we need to potentially at this point see if we can try and get a woman on this at some point, right? Because there's three blokes having to think about whether or not they want to invest in high-end beauty. So, you know, potentially we're not consumers of the product. High-end home, body, and gift business, right? Wholesale trade, all right? That's why those margins are relatively low. Yeah. Stock excluded in the price guide. I don't think I've got a price guide on here. No, there's no price guide. Maybe that's something that I can get through another link. Anyway, let's have a look. Queensland, manufacturer and wholesaler of high-end homewares, jewellery and giftware products. Marketed under company-owned brands, which are positioned at the premium end of the market. Strong network of suppliers for the whole range. Contract manufactured jewellery range. Okay, so it's got its own designs. Bolt-on for trade buyers, expand their gift e-commerce, homewares, bath and body product sector. Yeah, 4.2 of revenue, 900 of earnings, depending on how they calculate that, but Queensland-based. It says protected IP. Oh, I wonder how they protect it. Do they have a guess at how they might be protecting their IP, James?
They just have a trademark. I doubt the contract manufactured jewellery's got any IP in it, but I think we're looking at trademarks, you know, that have probably across their brands.
Trademark for brand names and product names and stuff. Yeah, right. Okay. That's pretty good contact database. That's not bad.
300, yeah.
So scalable platform.
I always just on that. I see this a lot. Scalable. If it's scalable, why aren't they scaling it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like it's you kind of, it frustrates me a little bit when our broker friends put these things in there, because it's like immediately as a buyer, I'm like, well, if it's scalable, why aren't you doing it? You're making $900K a year. Just invest half of that back into the scalable, and away you go. Not enjoying that.
Yeah, it's true though. Like I think it's not quite the right word, is it?
No.
Like effectively, I think there is a platform here that someone could scale, but it's not.
It's like
you need to make it.
I'd almost prefer them to say, hey, all the hard work's done. Like, just come in, accelerate, happy days. But, you know, just if it's scalable, then you should have already done it.
Agreed.
Yeah. So what, just stepping back for a second, what do you guys generally think about these kind of businesses? I mean, this one, like it's, you know,
this is a little different.
That's not bad revenue. The earnings aren't terrible. I presume it's cash positive. It's hard to tell with what they're doing with their stock, but like, what do you generally think about this space?
So high-end home, body and gift business, like immediately think discretionary retail, like, and fundamental that it is. Like the gifting business is probably a bit less discretionary because there's, you know, Mother's Day, Christmas, you know, Boxing Day. You always want to give gifts, but like high end and discretionary is just like, I think, cyclical, right? Like very subject to you know, interest rate environment, inflation, all this cost of living pressures. And I think that, you know, I've got scars from types of businesses like this, selling premium stuff in a retail in an environment where consumer sentiment is on its lowest record or declining still. And it's the impact on revenue is not to be understated. So my gut feel is I'd be curious to see the trend of their revenue over 5 years. To your point, James, like how has it been trending? It's probably flat or declining is my gut feel, just base of the businesses that we've seen and we service through the accounting firm. I think what I do like about it, though, is the wholesale element. Like, you know, obviously the big trend is D2C. The trend we're seeing now is D2C brands actually going to B2B or moving back to wholesale. So D2C is a concept, direct to consumer, used to be a business model. It's always just been a distribution channel. It's like, just because you're selling direct to consumer doesn't mean you're different or special. It just means that there's less of a middleman. But I actually prefer a lot of you know, the issue with selling direct to consumer is that you're dealing with, you know, the Karens of the world, you know, customer support tickets, where's my order, refunds, all that sort of shit. Where if you sell B2B, you sell to a Kmart or, you know, a big business. Yes, the payment terms aren't as great. You might have, you know, 30 or 60-day terms to get your cash in the door, but this buying in volume, you know, you're dealing with one account manager, a lot less stress actually, and a bit more predictability on what they're ordering. So I kind of like that, and the fact that they've got apparently 2,800 strong distribution of customers, that's pretty not very concentrated, which is a good thing. So that's usually what you're looking for. So they're probably the things I do like about it, but like again, I don't really like the space altogether. That's my personal take on it.
What do you reckon, James?
I'm in if it's candles and body scrubs. I'm out if it's jewelry. The simple reason is candles margin is obscene, and body scrubs, there's no creative aspect to that. It's like, does it smell good? Make it work, right? The creative bit, I just wonder if it's being run by creatives, which means functionally you're going to have to then invest time to develop and be on trend, right? Where like smells and, you know, how you feel like in a bath, like cool, like that's going to be there forever.
You struck me as a bath guy, James. Like,
I'm a huge bath guy. I'm a bath every week sort of guy. Man, I'm like all in for the bath.
Like,
so
man. This is you. This is your jam.
You could start a whole like blokes range of bath bombs.
Yeah, that's you joke, but it's a thing, you know. So there's two things. My wife loves candles, right? So I know the margin in candles because I've seen her make them, and I've seen me buy them, and they're very different price points. And so, like I said, if it's candles and it's like things that are non-perishable, I think, hey, I actually think not bad, right? 2,800 B2B. Probably a little bit small on the EBITDA. Also, they're carrying 33% stock at any one time. Questionable. Probably too stock heavy, that sort of thing. But the thing that actually puts me off is kind of the jewelry aspect to it. And so if they've got if the owner happens to listen to this and you want to sell me the candle business, I'm interested to have a look. But not really into the whole.
And it'd be interesting to see those proportions in the list here. They've put jewelry first of the 3 dot points. So it might be more of that. But you're right, like the opportunity there is, and again, it's quite a common opportunity with across all sorts of verticals with these sorts of businesses, is sometimes the owner has done a good job building up B2B, say, for example, of their local hairdresser or their local, beauty shop or whatever, but they haven't really worked out how to navigate like a Kmart or a much larger kind of corporate customer. And so there could be a play there where obviously the margins are going to drop, but your volumes could go up significantly. And just being able to navigate that kind of negotiation as opposed to, just selling to the high street stores. That's definitely a possibility. I think I agree with you on the creative front. Like, creative stuff's really interesting. Like, there have been quite a few businesses in the last 12 months that have had kind of significant creative angles on them, and which isn't dissimilar to like an engineering style of business, right? It just means you've got an expertise in there that you need to replicate. But I guess the difference is that there is a technical, well, not exactly, but there's more of a technical answer to the engineering outcome. And absolutely. Like taste outcome, the on-trend comment about the taste outcome for the creative stuff, which is difficult and a lot more risky. So
they also say no customer risk, but if you take revenue divided by number of customers, assuming they make one order a year, it's $1,500 spend a year. Like it's a lot of hard work to do $100 a month on a B2B. So if you could take their product and you think it was really good and go, okay, I'm going to get into a Kmart or maybe use the facilities to get a lower price point item and sort of go, I'm going to land a $1 million contract, then cool. I'd be questioning what's the average order value, one, and what's the average spend per customer per annum to work out, is it, because to get another 2,800 to double the revenue is hard yakka at that point. It's $100.
Agree. Yeah. And like, just imagine how many SKUs they're carrying. Like, about $1.5 million worth of stock. Like, how many freaking candles is that?
It's a lot of candles.
That'll be the reason why they're carrying so much stock, right? Is probably because they haven't worked out how to manage that stock efficiently, right? So you could probably suck $500,000 cash out of that in
100%. Yeah, to your point, James, if you don't like the gemstone crystal jewelry category, like assume you were to buy this, or maybe in DD, do the analysis of where the sales coming from out of those three categories: gemstones, candles, bath and body, and let's do like where's the GP contribution, the gross profit contribution from those. What does it look like if we just simplify the business to candles and bath? If we kill all the SKUs for the rest of it, you might have a smaller business, but maybe more
profitable
by producing, which is
and use some of that kind of working out of that inventory balance to fund that transition from one to the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love your assumption that they record all of the GP costs into different revenue streams. Exactly. Like, that's good. If they're doing that, I guarantee you they're not selling.
Well, if you want to do the work of going through all the purchase orders for the last 5 years, I mean, it's there. You're just going to dig it up, right?
I'm sure there's someone we know that's pretty good at Excel that could do that for us.
Well, it's not me. Put it that way. I'm terrible at Excel.
So I'm a pass on this. I think to not enough EBITDA to. There's still a bit of hard work to be done. I don't like, as much as I love being a customer, I'm happy to be a customer, not an owner.
Yeah, good point. Same as me. This is like a headache business for me. Hard pass.
Yeah, I'm typically a glass half full kind of guy, so I'm always looking for a way that I could do it. And probably the only way I would do it is if I found like the right owner operator to back into it, right? Like. There is potentially a way you could get it done, but it's right at the hard end of the spectrum, isn't it? It's definitely lifestyle in nature.
For sure.
Which means from a sales point of view, in terms of selling the business point of view, it's a matter of how do you market to find the person that's actually got a passion for this stuff and really wants to sit into it and kind of run it. So that's probably the gap there.
Yeah.
I guarantee, though, they'll be asking 4.1 mil, including stock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Easily.
Do you know what I mean? That's 100%. Like 4.1. No.
Or plus stock, maybe.
Yeah.
Usually, it's if they do EBITDA and then stock evaluation, I've got sensors that it's an EBITDA multiple plus the inventory. SAV, what they call it, salvage asset value. SAV. Yeah. It's like it's just stock, right?
Yeah. So.
Cool.
Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more, please hit us up on LinkedIn. You can find all three of our profiles in the show notes below. And stay tuned for the next episode.